Hello, everyone. This is Kim. Welcome, welcome. This is our Friday afternoon chat, which will go back to Thursdays next week. I had the privilege of attending the last couple volleyball games for my granddaughters, and last night their banquet where they got awarded some pretty neat awards. And I'm super excited that I was able to go, and I am here for you tonight. All right, so if you haven't been here before, this is the place that you can learn all about sewing. I do tutorials, I do pattern reviews, I do sew-alongs, and once a week or so we have a chat like this, usually Thursdays at 4. And I usually have a topic, but you're welcome to bring any and all questions. It does not have to completely stay on topic. But if you do have questions that are off topic, I just ask that you let's sort of hold them to the end of the presentation of the topic that there is. So today I want to talk about thread painting. We're kind of still in the middle of denim week, which is going to end up being denim week and a weekend because I still have one more to film for you guys. I'm actually going to do it in a sew-along form because I think it would be really helpful for you guys to see me sew super thick denim together, because basically the parts where I made fabric by sewing all these flat felled seams together, that's a piece of the pattern. So that has to be sewn to other pieces. So I thought it might be helpful for you guys to sort of tag along for that. So anyway, that's little housekeeping stuff. But anyway, welcome everybody. I see Verna, Diana, and Barbara. I'm going to be down there in just a few weeks, Barbara, seeing my family in San Antonio. My brother's there, as you know, and Sharon, hi, nice to see you. Dee, if you notice, has a little wrench by her name. She's a moderator of our chat, so she's going to help me keep the trolls under control. So you can message either her or me if you see something suspicious. Please report it to us or report it to YouTube or whatever you'd like to do. And hi, Verna and Dee. All right. And there's more people, but they just haven't spoken up. So hello to everyone. Hi, Libby. Nice to see you as well. And Marnie. Hi, nice to see you. All right, so thread painting. All right, so this is a super quick example I did today. It's not the best that I've ever done, but it is a little example of just a little bead. This is perhaps something you could put on a pocket if you wanted to. But this is just a little quick example. I have done much better work than that. But I wanted to try to do something small to show you exactly how to go about doing that. That's not done with an embroidery machine. That's done completely freehand with a hoop and your sewing machine. All right, so that is that's basically what I have to talk about today. So I have a few videos which I'm gonna switch to, but first I'm just gonna start with, hi, Hexy, nice to see you from Germany. Oh, we have people from all over. I just love it. So what you're going to need, first I'll tell you, you're going to need an embroidery hoop. Depending on the size of your work, you're going to want to kind of get as large as you can fit on your sewing machine bed that will keep the item in there. All right. You need tearaway stabilizer, which I buy it on a roll, and this is from Amazon, and I have the links already down there for you guys. And you need water-soluble stabilizer for the top, and this is the best brand that I have found so far. We used to have to draw it all freehand, but now I have the stick and stitch, which is you print it on the printer and you can peel and stick it on, and then it washes right off with water. It's pretty cool. I show you how to do that today. You need some fray block because you're going to have stray threads you're going to want to tame. You need embroidery thread. You don't want to use regular thread because it doesn't really show up that well. I got this box of 80 colors on Amazon, and it's actually pretty good stuff. The brand is Simthread, and I have the link down there below. It's pretty nice. It's got a ton of colors. At least it's a great thing to get you started, and then you can replace the colors as we go. All right, so I will start the first video and sort of talk you through it. And we'll go from there. I am going to excuse myself for 1 second before I start that video because I left my notes in the other room. So I'm just going to run and get those super fast, and then you guys can, we can get right back to the thing. All right, I'll be right back. All right, sorry about that, y'all, but I need my notes. I'm not that good that I can go without notes. Anyway, I did want to show you, this is what I'm ultimately working on. This is a denim jacket it's a ready-to-wear denim jacket. This butterfly I kind of fell in love with, and I printed it off on paper to see the size of it. Before I went ahead and I printed it on the stick and stitch and put it down here, and this is going to be my weekend project. So hopefully that'll be kind of cool. So we'll see how that goes. I used to do a lot of this, and I was quite good at it back in the day. I'm a little rusty at it, so I'm practicing the smoothness of the whole thing. It takes a little bit of time. Be patient with yourself when you start, because it does take a little practice, and the feel of the hoop and your sewing machine and the different things that are underneath that you can kind of get caught up on. You just kind of have to get a feel for that. And it's not that hard really at all. All right. Aha, yes, thank you. Actually, I did figure it out, and it actually was that I had it set on 4K. Brenda said, remember to turn the display off, which I did, but she said that, yeah, my battery kept, or my camera kept cutting off because it was overheating. Well, apparently you can't shoot 4K for that long without it overheating, and I didn't realize that. So it's not 4K, but it won't shut off. So that's better anyway. All right. Hopefully. I say that, and probably there'll be some other reason it shuts off today, but you know, I try my best. So, all right. I'm going to go on with a video, and then I'll kind of talk you through what we're doing here. 1 second while I find it. Okay. All right, so first of all, you're going to go ahead and you're going to take, I've got to see this, sorry. Got to move some people out of the way here. All right, you're going to print off your design, and you're going to go ahead and stitch that down.
Need help, but maybe it's still not that right way. Right. I mean, the issue is violent crime, the economy, immigration.
Did you not hear me? Uh-oh. Did you not hear me with the first one? Will somebody tell me? Anyway, you're going to go ahead and you're going to start, and you're going to use a zigzag stitch if you're going to fill in an area like that. So the first thing you're going to do is drop your feed dogs. And where did I put my notes? Fell on the ground. It's all right. There's plenty of footage here to talk. All right. So the first thing, you're going to make sure you use the stabilizer, the tearaway underneath, and the stick and stitch on top. And then you're going to print your design. All right, you're going to hoop it. First thing you're going to do is drop your feed dogs. Now the feed dogs will come up, depending on what machine you have. I have a Janome Skyline 7, and it comes up and it says, it says you can't choose another thing or raise your feed dogs. Well, just turn it off and keep going, because it doesn't know that you're going to do it by hand. So just tell it that you're smarter, because we're smarter than machines. All right, and then what you're going to do, in the first video you couldn't hear me because I think I had turned off the microphone, but there really wasn't much to say except that you're going to put it on the stabilizer and you're going to use the stick and stitch. Just kind of demonstrated how you would do that. So you're going to use either a straight or zigzag stitch. I like to use zigzag most of the time, and I vary the width depending on what I'm filling in. Like these antennae, I'm using a smaller zigzag because I don't want it to be super thick. Now when you're filling in areas, you can make them quite a bit wider. You can see I paused there to make it wider. And as you're filling in, you just go back and forth, just like a coloring book. Just back and forth, back and forth. Now, the embroidery thread that you want to definitely use one of some pretty good quality. There's a lot of expensive brands out there. I tried this version from Amazon. This is the first time I have tried to use this, so because it's been a lot of years. I used to have to go to specialty stores and source my stuff, and usually Sulky was the only thing that I could find. And then there was a Metler version. So it was hard to find the supplies. Now they're everywhere because of home embroidery machines. So it's basically the same kind of supplies, except you're not using a machine to do this. All right, the bobbin, you're going to want to use a little bit lighter thread in your bobbin than what you use for regular sewing. So a lot of times the box of the box of thread came with some pre-filled bobbins that had the lighter thread on it, but basically at least the same or lighter, because what you want is that the tension to kind of fall to the underneath so that the bobbin thread doesn't stick up. You don't change colors on the bottom thread. Use a color that kind of matches your project. So on this, I used black because there was white and black pre-filled ones in that box. And the white would have definitely shown through, so I used black so that it wouldn't bleed through on top. All right, for the needle, you're just going to use whatever needle is appropriate for the fabric that you're doing it on. If you're using a knit, you're going to use a stretch needle. This is blue jean material, so I'm using my jeans needle, okay? No pressure foot at all. Some people like to use the darning foot. I like to be able to see what I'm doing. So, and actually my camera was a little bit obstructing my view. So if this is a little cumbersome, it's because I was using a camera that was kind of blocking half of what I could see. Yeah, no pressure foot at all. Yes, if you can put a Q in front of your questions, I forgot to say that. It helps me be able to sort them out and find them. But usually I can find them. But if we get any bigger, then it'd be good to get in the habit, because hopefully we'll grow and have to sort through the questions more, because I like questions. That's how people learn. All right, and then as far as the speed on your machine, you're going to set that speed so that it is about halfway is what I like. You don't want to go too slow or it's going to get jerky on you. and you won't get a flow. So you want to have it, but you don't want to go too fast because you don't want to get ahead of yourself and not control it. So you'll have to play around with what works for you, and that should work. All right. Yeah, so that's basically all there is to it. And when you need to change threads, you can just change the top thread and keep going. So it's kind of nice just leaving that bobbin thread in there. It's probably, if it's a big project, it's a good idea to have some bobbins all ready to go that you can slip right in when you run out. Because you use a lot of thread when you do this. I will guarantee you that you will go through more than one bobbin with most projects. This is small, so it didn't really use that much. I just kind of tried to do something I could do really quickly and show you the complete thing. So I didn't change colors or anything. And because this stick and stitch is the first time that I use this, because usually I use the water soluble stabilizer, but you had to draw it on, and which was fine. But when it was on something like blue jeans, it was really hard to tell what was blue and what, exactly what, because you couldn't really use a white pen. So this was so nice to be able to have that translucent sort of paper on there to see the colors. So that works out really well. All right, and then once you are all done with it, which I will be here in a second. Does anybody have questions so far? How big do I get the zigzag for filling? You kind of want to vary it. Okay, with this project, I went up to maybe about 3.5 to 4. But with that jean jacket, I'm probably going to go all the way up to I have a 9mm zigzag machine. I will probably go all the way to 9 for part of it. Because when you go back and forth, you want to make sure you're not going in lines too much, because you don't want to get ridges where there were lines. So you go back and forth. And there are other ways to fill in areas. I've never really liked them. You can do small little circles. A lot of people have done that. I did that once on a project where I was doing Santa's beard. And I did just little circles with the zigzags so it looked like curly hair. So you could do something like that. You can experiment with all kinds of things. You can use a combination of, here's something. You can use a combination of heat transfer vinyl or sublimation, and then to give it dimension, you can do this on top. That's fun. I haven't really done it, but I thought about how cool it would be to do that. Vinyl you can easily sew over. All right, so then to get to the next part here, when you are done stitching, you're going to lock your stitch off and pull it out. And then you're going to go over to your table and you're going to take it out of the hoop. Go ahead and get rid of it.
The window of the glass door that appears to be broken during the entry breaking, and perhaps he called 911. But either way, the police chief made it very clear that when officers arrived, the assault, the fight, was actually happening. Listen again to that part of what the chief said. Our officers are hammer. At some point, obviously, that attack ensued in front of police. So maybe that's how Paul Pelosi was able to actually call police before he was severely attacked by that hammer. Right now, FBI, Department of Justice, just about every federal law enforcement agency taking part in this investigation, although it's being led by the San Francisco Police Department, but they're all essentially working together. And the big nugget is that several law enforcement sources are confirming to Fox News at this point that David DePepe, when he walked inside, shouted, "Where is Nancy? Where is Nancy?" What's not clear is if he said that in front of police, if that's something Paul Pelosi was able to tell police when they arrived. We don't know. We just know that attack happened in front of police, which is remarkable. Back to you.
Well, David, according to the charges that the police in that news conference a short time ago said that they're bringing forward against this attacker, including attempted homicide, you have to think that there was a whole lot that was seen there while the police were present. Obviously, talked about the exchange of the hammer that was taking place when the cops entered the room.
And it does not appear, Sandra and John, as I said before, that there was any kind of security there. I mean, we may not be right about this, but at this point it doesn't seem like that's the case, because the chief didn't say that. I mean, the chief said that the police walked in and they found Paul Pelosi and the suspect, and it does not appear that there was
the speaker, the majority leader, the whip for both the majority and the minority, and both the House and Senate do get the security detail. What is almost non-existent and is obviously playing out right now is the homes of those people, and it's inexcusable in my book. January 1st of last year, Nancy Pelosi's home was vandalized. It was spray painted with graffiti. There was a fake blood spewed across it. There was a dead pig's head left at the door. And it just makes you wonder, even if the speaker herself is not there, how can that happen? And why were precautions not put in place and responded to from the attack last year? Every member of Congress has their information, their address, their home, even their telephone numbers are published. You have to disclose these. And so anybody in the public can go look these up. And it creates a very vulnerable situation for members of Congress, but especially leadership. And she's the highest profile person in all of Congress.
Yeah, and you wonder, if security extends to members of the president's family and their children and the vice president's family and any children that might be involved, why wouldn't security for the person who's second in line to the presidency be extended to family members as well? Or at the very least, if not a U.S. Capitol Police security detail.
Yahoos walking down the street at 2:30 in the morning could go out there and say, probably not a good idea, because this looks like it's not going to go too well for me.
Jason, hello, it's Sandra. We're looking at these live pictures. Obviously, they have completely taped off the area there as this investigation continues. It's amazing how very little was revealed at that news conference. The charges that are being brought against the suspect, who's in custody, obviously were detailed, but no actual clear answers as to how this intruder got into the home. We're still awaiting that. They're still investigating the motive. We're still waiting an update on Paul Pelosi's condition. We don't know if he's still in the hospital or left the hospital. That also has not been confirmed. But what we do know is that Paul Pelosi, according to Nancy Pelosi's office and the authorities that spoke a few moments ago, was attacked. He was severely beaten by this assailant, entered their home, middle of the night, 2:30 in the morning, confronted him shouting for the speaker's whereabouts, his wife of course, authorities saying the motive for this attack is still being determined. The suspect has been identified, David DePepe. He's in custody, and I'll just read this verbatim from the police chief a few moments ago, because this is really the only update we've received. Our officers observed Pelosi and the suspect both holding a hammer. The suspect pulled the hammer away from Mr. Pelosi and violently assaulted.
Can you hear me, guys? Oh boy. Did you guys miss that whole thing? Please tell me you didn't. I think I muted the wrong thing and you were hearing the background noise of me watching the news. Let me know, guys. Well, anyway, you saw me do it. I'll go through my points again. Oh, dear. You could hear me? Does that mean? Oh, good. Oh, good, good, good. I was a little worried that you were just hearing Fox News. Uh-oh, you can now. But before, okay, so you just peel that stuff off. You tear away the stabilizer. Oh, I'm so sorry. Brenda, you can hear the TV news. Ay, ay, ay. Sorry about that, guys. I muted the wrong thing. I meant to mute the video and I muted myself. Now you can hear me. All right, guys, I'm so sorry. But basically, you tear off the stabilizer and then you pick it out as much as you can, but don't worry about it because it can stay there. And then you're just going to rinse out the stick and stitch, which is water soluble. And I am so embarrassed, you guys. Every week there's something. Ugh. Just don't know why, but Anyway, I'm so sorry, guys. I'm so sorry. Yeah, I'm probably going to film this video over again because you... Okay, good. I'm glad it looked pretty self-explanatory. But I did have some things to say. So did you hear, was it just that last video or was that with all of them? Let me know. Because I'll probably re-record this as a instruction video because, yeah, I said a whole lot. I get to be human, only I don't like it. Did you hear the first two videos? Did you hear me or the news? Let me know. Somebody let me know. Anyway, so then you just rinse it out and you just go ahead and do your garment. Just the last. Okay, good. Thank you, Marnie. So maybe it's not so bad then. Because that last bit was pretty self-explanatory, but make sure also that if you need to cut a pattern piece out from whatever you're doing, fabric you're doing it on, that you have a large enough piece, because you don't want to, and I would cut it out after you get it done because things can happen. You know, you could mess it up and then you've wasted that whole big piece of fabric instead of the little bit that you were working on. And also if it's not big enough for the hoop, you know, so I wouldn't cut it out until after you embroider it. And then I would also, and then you can kind of fussy cut it to be right where you want it to be as well. If you're working on a pocket, you know, you do that before you, definitely before you sew it on. So yeah, that's what I would do. And, and then you put the stuff in water and it kind of pulls off. You don't have to worry. One of the things I said was you don't have to worry on the tearaway stabilizer. You pull it off as much as you can, but you don't want to pull so much that you don't want to pull so much that you pull the threads. So just you can leave the little bits. It's not going to hurt anything. If it's a garment that you're going to wear, it will eventually come off in the wash, and it's not a big deal at all. It's not really scratchy as long as you get most of it off. If you're doing something lightweight that's a knit and you want to give it some body, you can throw a piece of fusible fleece underneath. Is sometimes a good little, gives it some puff, you know, if you want to do that. That's another way of doing it. Yes, that's it. Actually, this would be just about the right size for a jeans pocket. And I mean, this is my second attempt in many years. So, you know, once I didn't start on that. I didn't start on that because I didn't want to, until I get some practice down, because it's been a lot of years since I've done it. But I think it's a fun thing to do, and it really, really, really goes with denim, because denim is all about being organic and being back to earth, you know, and handmade. So it's kind of nice to embellish them. We used to embellish our jeans in the 70s with all kinds of stuff, you know, flowers, and back in the way back, I'd do hand embroidery on them, put something on the pockets, or, you know, down on the boot cut part, you know, of the flare. Wasn't more than boot cut back then, they were bell bottoms, but, you know, right down on the corner of the bell bottom. And a purse, great idea, Nadina. Great idea. A purse would be awesome. And you can do something simple with back pockets. Now, I did back pockets a while back. I did a butterfly. And I didn't like that technique for it. And the reason was that I wanted it to be stitches. So I did it painstakingly, hand cranking the sewing machine. Took me forever, but if you want those stitches perfectly spaced, this is not what you should do because it's human. It goes forward by you, not by the machine. So back to the 70s, right? I know. I love it. And I think that stuff is all making a comeback. I think that, with all the stuff, going on, which, I just treated you to a little bit of news there, which was awful today. But I don't even know why I have it on. I turned it on at noon and then I just never turned it off. But until I got online. But with the way things are in the world and the way things are so expensive, I think people are just getting back to basics. And I don't know, it's just a fun thing to do. So I want to see your creations on the Facebook group. And if you have not joined our Facebook group, it is Dorothy's Daughter Community. And there is the link right down there. And you can definitely join us. And we have a good time on there. We share our makes and ask questions, get advice, all those things. So it's a lot of fun. Let's see. And definitely is a lot of fun. Hello, Brenda. You missed my big screw up for today. I played the background noise of the video instead of my talking over it. Oh dear. I think I'll download the video and just voice over that one part so that I think I'll do something with it because people don't need to know that. So anyway, except for fabrics, right? I know. They just get more expensive. The more organic the fabric, the more expensive it is, which doesn't make sense to me, but oh, okay, Verna, you had a question. Let me find it. Actually, let me do a search for questions. Okay. Where do I get my design? Oh, I answered that while I was I answered that while I was when the news was on. So where I get my designs, it's so much better now. When my kids were small and I did a lot of it, I got them from coloring books. I mean, that's about all we had. And I would trace the pictures onto water-soluble stabilizer and then put it on, pin it on or baste it on my garment. There was no stick down anything. I was really excited when I saw that they have something you can print in the printer and stick on. That's awesome. But now there's stuff everywhere. I mean, you can search for, I did a search for bee, and I thought this one, I wanted one that wasn't too cutesy, because if a grown woman was going to put this on a pocket, you wouldn't want, a little happy face, kid looking bee. So this was kind of not too cutesy. And so it happened to be from designbundles.net, and I downloaded it and then just printed it on my stick and stitch. Barbara Jean says, years ago, I watched the show of quilting and the lady was doing painting with threads, and she did a whole wilderness scene where it had trees that are white. Oh, wow, cool. I tried my hand at some of that, and I don't even know where that stuff is. I know I kept a couple of the shirts I made for my kids that were unusual, like seasons that they were in. My son was enthralled with ceiling fans when he was little. And he would just run to get the Sunday paper and find the little ads from and this was in Conroe, Texas when we lived there, and it was from Dan's Fan City, and he would look for those ads, and he would carry them around and draw fans, and he would make fans out of Legos, and he was, I don't know why, but he was just obsessed with ceiling fans. Kids are so funny. So I made him a shirt with a ceiling fan on it that said, "Fantastic Kid." So I kept that, things like that you keep. But I didn't keep most of the things that I did that were pictures or hangings. I gave away as gifts. I didn't do anything for myself. So I bet that was beautiful, Barbara. I would love to see that. I saw, I looked up to see if anybody was still doing this, and I found a bunch of beautiful things like that. With this box of thread, there's all the shades. This what I'm very excited about is like when I do this butterfly, how it goes from a lighter blue to a darker blue. They've got all the shades in here. Like here's a darker blue and a lighter blue and an even lighter blue. So lots of options, which I think is super cool. So you can do all the shading and everything, which, back in the day, this stuff was so expensive and I had to buy it one spool at a time. And you just couldn't do that unless you were doing it, for money, and I wasn't back then at all. So, hello, Mary Alice. Nice to see you. Yeah, stick with me for part of that. I had the TV news on instead of my voice for just a little bit of it. So just hang in there. I'll come back. I think I'm gonna fix it and just voice over that part because it's a pretty interesting topic that I think a lot of people will want to watch. So I'll fix it up. Oh yeah, that's that thread. Those need to be hung up. They're just the hanging ones. I just haven't hung everything up yet in here. Unpacking is going super slow for me. I'm by myself, so that's part of it. And also, my kids are busy. They helped me so much getting ready to move that now they've got it. They're in their lives, and it's hard for them to get away, and it's difficult. So I'm being patient, but I can't lift very much because I need back surgeries. So I'm just being patient with myself and everybody else. So, aren't they just beautiful? I love butterflies, and I want to do this one for myself so I can make mistakes on it, and then I may do one for my sister-in-law who's mad about butterflies. So that may be the next thing I do after that. But it's fun, and I thought I'd just sort of rejuvenate an old hobby that has a lot more options now than it did when I used to do it. So, does the thread come in variegated? Yeah, there is a couple variegated ones in here. Let me see, it was on the list. I think they're in the bottom one. It said there were 2 variegated ones in here. I haven't explored all of it. Let's see, what was the color number on those? S108. I think they're in here. Why they had two variegated ones in here. It was like a variegated blue and a variegated purple. If I find that variegated blue, that might actually be a really good thing to do that butterfly. Heidi, when filling in large spaces, would a twin needle help? I'm afraid it might tie up on you with the zigzag. It might. I don't know. I don't think I would do it. Maybe. But with going side to side, I'm just thinking that one thread might get tripped up under the other needle. I've never tried a twin needle with a lot of zigzag before. So also, I don't think that some machines could take, would have a large enough space for the twin needle to go back and forth in the opening. I think like mine is 9mm machine, so I think it probably would on mine, but you'd have to really be careful of how wide your zigzag would be. So this one, this is 80 colors of embroidery thread that I got on Amazon, and the link is in the description already. It's pretty cool. It wasn't expensive either. Let me see, I can tell you how much it was because I don't remember. I will look. I think it was about 40 bucks. But I can tell you. Oh, no problem, Marnie. Have a great afternoon. I'll be looking for you on Facebook. Okay, where was that? Okay. It was $39.99 for this, all these 80 colors. So pretty good, I think. I didn't think you could either, Dee. I don't think you can zigzag with a twin needle unless it's a really close together one and you have a 9mm machine, but I think it just break, I think. Yeah, I think I would only use one needle. Save yourself the headache of breaking a twin needle because those aren't cheap. Yes, it did. It came in that nice little box. So my grandkids were here and they were going over all the colors of regular thread that I had on. I've got a rack leaning up behind me here that is just regular sewing thread that I haven't hung on the wall yet. And they were going, oh, look at all these colors, how exciting. And I blew their mind when I showed them that box. They want to color with it, but you know, you can't really. So anyway. Oh, Jane did a zigzag with a twin needle by accident and her machine was not happy. Yeah, that's, I think what would happen is it would tie up, or at worst, or break the needle. I think it will break the needle before it would do anything. So, two Arizonians. How about that? Super cool. All right, you guys. So any other questions about that or anything else? Yeah, I had a lot of fun with that, getting it ready for you guys. Just, you know, rejuvenating an old thing that I used to do that more than I sewed garments back in the day, because I could complete something in an hour or two and have it be something really beautiful. I made wall hangings for Christmas gifts and all kinds of things. I made all of our Christmas stockings and embroidered all the names that way. You can do embroidery like monograms. Really, you can print out a font and then just follow it, and they turn out really nice, especially if you have some practice and you can get it to where your satin stitch is nice and smooth. This was not smooth that I did at all. But you know, with practice, it'll be back to where it was. But if you're just filling in a space, it's not so bad. I mean, you don't really want it to be bumpy. So if you go back and forth, it just fills it in. But like this could be a lot more stable. Who is hesitant in making the jeans? No, don't be. Don't be, don't be. I'm not going to do a sew along because they have a class and I don't do that. If the designer has a class that they want you to purchase, it's really bad form for a YouTuber to do a sew along because that takes away from them. So, but if you're doing the class and you have questions, please post them in the Facebook group and I will help you as much as I can. All right. Dee has a question about plain denim with no spandex. What jeans pattern would I recommend? The Tessa from Seamwork is what I've always used for that, and I love them. That's a great pattern as well. They're stiffer jeans, and they're not, I mean, they're kind of a little more high-waisted, which I kind of like, to be honest. I like the little bit higher waist, and I like them. I like them a lot. But those are the ones I've always made. And I think I did a video on those way back, like 2 years ago or so. Actually, Dee, somebody, Tessa on Love Notion's pattern support group today, I think it was today, she posted, she took the bottom, excuse me, I'm so sorry. She took the bottom of the Resolution, the flared leg, and put it on the legato jeans and had flared jeans. So there you go. That would be easy to do. Just take and pull one bottom over to the other and just like attach it at the knee. Make sure that it's the same size at the knee and then you're good to go. Oh, Brenda has her Cali fabric kit. Oh, that's awesome. Yeah, your muslin isn't stretch. I think though, I mean, you just know it's probably going to be tighter than the real thing. Okay, this is actually part of the 1% spandex. You can see it stretches, but in the body of it, not a whole lot. So I wouldn't, I mean, definitely don't make it out of 100% cotton, but if your muslin is that, you're going to have a pretty good idea. It'll just be more comfortable. I don't think it's going to be that much. Yeah, I heard that, Verna, they might get more kits, but I don't know when. I have not heard any more than what you've heard on that. So if I do hear anything, I'll let you know. I was going to order one and I missed them too. I thought that would be kind of a cool thing to get and actually show to you guys too. So, I was talking about stabilizer. So water soluble stabilizer used to come in a sheet made by Sulky, and it was expensive. So then I saw a roll of it, like what we used to use on Amazon. And I bought some just a couple weeks ago. And then I had, I was tracing my design like I used to with a fabric pen and everything. And then I saw this. And I'm like, oh, I'm crazy. So I ordered this. But this wasn't too bad. I think it's $17 for 12 sheets. So, I mean, it's a little more than $1. But I still have the roll because if there's something that's just on white, and it's a quick, I don't know, it's a quick name on a Christmas stocking or something like that, that you can trace easily enough, then, don't use the expensive stuff if you don't have to. Like on that bee, I put it close to the edge of one sheet. Here, I'll show you. I put it on the end of one sheet, cut it off, and then the next time I'll feed it through the printer. Whoop. I'll use another design, small one, and I can put it through the printer this way so that the design is down here. So you don't have to throw away. If you can salvage one end of paper, do the same thing with sublimation paper. If I can salvage the end of it, I do. in December, I've got a Love Notions feature that I'm doing, and that is, I'm the one doing the feature that week, and I'm going to be showing some sublimation on that one, so it should be a kind of a fun one to do. It's after Christmas, so that I can make something for Christmas and then show it online, because my kids watch my videos sometimes. You missed the kits? Yeah, I was bummed about that. So what else is everybody sewing this week? Oh, I'm gonna do okay, so sew with me. It won't be Saturday this week because I won't be done with other things in time to get a video edited and out tomorrow. I'm just being realistic. It's probably going to be like Monday or Tuesday. But next Saturday, I'm going to be doing the resolution bottoms on Sew With Me Saturday. And those are the Feature Friday today. So if you want to sew along with me next weekend, go ahead and grab that pattern today because it's only $5. Sublimation is a print process where you print, it comes out liquid, and then when it's heated, it turns into a gas, and it actually goes in and stains the fibers. So it's permanent, and it works on polyester and fabrics that have a high content of synthetic fibers. So it doesn't work very well on 100% cotton. So, but it is pretty cool what you can do. It works really well on fleece. I've made fleece blankets. If you have double brush poly in a white solid, you can create your own fabric with it even. So it's pretty cool. I'm going to go grab the sample shirts because, as you can see, I'm wearing one of the shirts from my merch shop that just opened today. It's open for business and 15% off. And the link is down in the description. I'm going to go grab the shirts. I tried to grab a variety of things. So this is the ladies V-neck. And if you go there, I have more than 20 designs on there. There's a lot of fun things like I just want to sew and watch Christmas movies. I've got a seam ripper and I'm not afraid to use it. There's my logo. There's some inspirational things. Here's another V-neck that I got the sample of. It is well with my soul. I need this reminder every day. This one, this is the ladies hoodie. Runs a little large, which is very unusual to be able to say, but this one says, sing a new song of praise to him, play skillfully on the harp and sing with joy. Psalm 33:3. And this one is for Thanksgiving, give thanks. This is the women's fitted, it's the premium t-shirt. It's fitted and it runs very small. So this is an extra large, and normally now I'm wearing larges. So I can get in this one, but there's not a lot of extra room, I will tell you that. So. And then this is one of the little Sewing Notions graphics that I did, and this one has she works with her hands in delight from Proverbs 31. And let me get it over here so you can see it. And the that Sewing Notions graphic, I designed every one of these shirts that are in there, so it's kind of a labor of love for anybody who wants to wants to take advantage of it. It's a little bit of an extra income thing for me, which is nice. And I did the sewing notions thing, and I did it with a couple different sayings. So there's 2 with verses, and then there's one that just says for the love of sewing, and then another one with no words at all. So, take your pick, but there are 4 different ones with that design, and they all come in different things. And here's a mug too. I got the mug with my logo so I can have my coffee and remember all the work I have to do today. Yeah, so it's a lot of fun, and I'm really enjoying designing things for it. There's a couple Christmas things in there. There's Love Came Down, and I'm working on more Christmas things. There's a Thanksgiving themed one that says fall, or autumn theme. It says Falling for Jesus, and it has all these leaves coming down around it. So I think that you will, I think that it might be a fun thing for somebody if you're looking for a gift. And they're very high quality, and I can say that they did a very good job. I ordered a bunch of samples because I wanted to be able to confidently say, like, this isn't stuck on in any way. This is screen printed, or however they do that, right into it. There's nothing raised up about this. It isn't just vinyl or anything. It's really nice. And I have something with my logo, my new logo. So it makes a really fun thing for me. Just a fun thing. Oh, Brenda, thank you so much for the super sticker. Oh, that's awesome. Thank you so much. That's so sweet. You guys are too sweet to me. Thank you. Too much talking. Get to it. Okay. I'm answering questions, so sorry. The fabric depends on the item, Verna. These shirts are 100% cotton. Most of the, this is Fruit of the Loom brand, and the other one is, the V-necks are LAT, which is a nice t-shirt. They're all like Bella Canvas or Hanes or Gildan, that type. So they're all it depends on, there are some performance knits in there too. And then there's some of the designs have pillows, tote bags, hats. I don't know, I didn't put any hats in there yet, but I might. Yeah, so different things. So thank you very much, you guys. I appreciate it. So I just wanted to share that with you guys. And, so if you're looking for a unique Christmas gift, let me know. If you have a favorite verse that you think might be fun, send it to me and I'll do a design. Oh, and the best part is they're going to be 15% off for the next 2 weeks, because they do that for you when you open your shop. So I didn't open the shop until I got my samples, because I wanted to be able to say, hey guys, here's, I didn't want to do it till I had these in hand. So I got them yesterday. So the shop is open, and you get 15% off for the next 2 weeks. And I do believe there's going to be more sales as it gets closer to Christmas too. So very good. Any more questions for anybody? Thank you, Dee. Thank you very much. Yes, I did do a description of painting with thread in the beginning of the video, so watch the replay, and you will see a demonstration on that. Thank you. I do too. I don't like, I don't mind wearing like a unisex t-shirt, but I really like the ones that are made for ladies better. The seam ripper one is fun. I actually designed that one last night and stuck it in there because I just thought I need to do something with a seam ripper. And so anyway, I'll be thinking up things as I go along and adding things. I know I'm going to add a ton more Christmas things as I think of them. So, all right. Well, you guys, it's been fun like always. And my camera didn't shut off. So let's celebrate minor victories. And I will, if you're watching this and you want to get, if I haven't done it yet and you're watching the replay, I am going to be downloading this video and fixing the audio of one section where it went to the TV news instead of me. So just know that I will be fixing that, and I'll probably just be uploading it as a separate video, and then that way it's evergreen if somebody wants to learn about thread painting. Yes, I've used my seam ripper a lot this week too, Verna. So one of the reasons I don't have the video done on the denim jumper that I told you guys I've been making for years and years. Well, I pulled it out and I didn't look really close at the pattern pieces, and I sewed, it's princess seam, and I put the back pieces on the front. And I thought, weird thing is it fit me. But I'm like, this isn't right. There shouldn't be that much fabric back here. So yeah, and then I looked, and of course there's darts on it and stuff, and I just, so anyway, I had to rip it out. So, all right, I enjoy our fellowship too. Thank you all so much. Thank you for being patient with me and doing these Fridays for a few weeks, and we'll be back to Thursday next week. All right. I hope you guys have a great afternoon, and as always, you guys are the bright spot in my week. So happy sewing.